Hello, Mother students. Wish all of you are fine. I'm your course teacher, Ifat, and today our discussion topic actually cakes and pastries. And during this topic, actually, we'll read about our part two or about our second part, where we today read about how we can prepare the cakes industrially and with some decoration of cakes that you can decorate your own cake. So in our last class before midterm, we already finished about what is cake, different types of cake with their mixing process. Today we will read some more about cakes and their decorations. And actually pastry will read in our next class. Okay. So now we will start. So first of all, we are going to learn what is industrial manufacturing of cakes. So already you know the basic things, what is cake, what are the ingredients, how it's made. Now we will learn how industrially we made it. So for that, first of all, we learn or you know the production line, as you are very well known about different kinds of machines of baking. So if you go from the mixture, first of all, you have to mix the batter. Then that is a forming machine where cake will be shaped in different form. Then from that forming machine, it will entering a oven. Okay, it can be two kinds of ovens. It can be a tunnel oven or it can be a electric oven, but mostly electric ovens are used for made of for making of cakes. Then from that, cakes will be go outside through a conveyor belt, and by going that conveyor belt, it will be cooled down. Then with that cake filling machines, if only it is a muffin cake or it's simply sponge cake, so this machine will no need. Okay, that is a that is written here. It's a filling machine. But if your muffin is added with some chocolate syrups or with creams, okay, or your sponge cake was mixed with different kinds of fillings, then these machines will be in use. And you can check that there is a needle there. With that needle, mainly the fillings go inside after baking of cakes. And it is a sterilizer. After that, it go to the packaging section, and then cakes is packed. So with this flow chart, you can check that from cake how the cake actually can be made from mixture to packaging section. So if you go to know some more about that or some discussion about the figure, so it will be first of all mixing the batter. So in that stage, actually your batter will be mixed. And this mixing of batter will depend on your actually quantity of cakes. Okay, there is two things. One is batch and another is continuous mixture. There is a difference between batch and continuous mixture. How it is, if you can prepare cake in two kinds. One is per batch and another is continuous. So what can be difference between batch and continuous things? So if we think about batch, that is actual individual things, that is in per batch, you can prepare your cake, for example, 100 cakes at a time. Okay, so your mixing of your ingredients or your batter will be like that. After preparing of that 100 cakes, your machines will be stopped for second batch. Okay, then in second batch it will be another 100 cakes. So it is called the batch mixing. That is one batch is completed, then another batch will come. But in case of continuous mixing, what happened there? If you think about that, that what will be the continuous mixing? That is a word like continuous. So continuous means it should be continually go for production. That is, it mainly used for for 500 or 1000 cakes per day, or you can say also that is per kgs of cakes. So what happened there? Here, your cakes will be produced continuously. That means in your previous batch mixing, there were 100 cakes will prepare, then another batter will come with 100 cakes. Okay, but in case of continuous mixing, it will go continuously. That means 100 after 100 after 100. The machines will stop only for that day whenever your production will be stopped, then that mixing process will be stopped or that production process will be stopped. Without that, it will go continuously. So it is the difference between batch and the continuous mixing. Okay, and so that is our batch mixing machines. You already know about that is a vertical mixture, and it is a continuous mixing machines. That means you will pour your all ingredients there. There will be prepare the mixture of batter, and with there will be some pipes here, and with that pipe it will go to the forming sections. Okay, and it is a continuous process. It will go continuously till the end of the day. So it is a difference between batch and continuous mixing. If we go for second step, that the filling the mold, and you already know about that, it will vary with the shaper or the molder. After preparing the batter, it will go for molding in the molding sections, and it will vary with the different industries or the different kinds of mold. And after the molding, it will go for baking. Okay, so what happened here? It will go for baking. If it can be a electric baker or electric oven, it can be rotary oven, it can be a tunnel oven. Okay, normally tunnel oven is used for muffins, or without that, tunnel oven is not mostly used for sponge cakes. For sponge cakes or the birthday cake or shorten or big size cake, mainly the electric or rotary oven are used. Okay, so the temperature is mostly vary from preparing different kinds of cake is mainly from 162 to 30 degrees centigrade. Mainly within this temperature, all cakes are baked. Okay, and sometimes what happens? The surface of cake sometimes can be cracked. Okay, why that crack? Due to dryness. Okay, and for that reason, some water, okay, will be sprayed the upper side of the cake for preventing the crackness, as it will not dry. And after baking, it will go for cooling section through a conveyor belt, and after that cooling, it will go for striping and packaging. Okay, so it was like our preparation of cake from our mixing to packaging section. And now it is we know that in our last class we already know about how our shorten or chiffon cake is prepared. Now we learn about how the cakes can be prepared in an industrial machines. So if if you want to know that what kinds of cakes actually prepared in industries, is actually the answer will be it's up to the manufacturer. What kinds of cake they want to produce, depend on that demand, the cake will be produced. It can be muffin cake, it can be birthday cake, it can be chiffon cake, it vary, or it can be pancake. It vary manufacturer to manufacturer. And now we are going to learn a new things, that is the icing for cakes. Whenever you think about the cakes, we know that cakes is not only for actually muffin or sponge cakes. There are lots of cakes are available in the different kinds of bakery and confectionery with different kinds of icing or topping. So now we will learn that different kinds of icing or topping of cakes. So what is the meaning of that? Actually, icing or topping is the decoration of cakes. We can decorate the cake in different way, like icing with sugar, sprinkles with different kinds of pearl sugar, You know about that? It can be sanding sugar, or it can be fondant or chocolate, waffle sugar, anything. There are lots of varieties of cake decoration. Now we will know in our today's class that is some common forms or some common decorations that are mostly used in decorating of cakes. So if you go, for example, it can be buttercream, whipped cream, ganache, glaze, fondant, gum paste, candy clay. That is actually a variation. For example, in case of buttercream, there are lots of variation like Swiss buttercream, like American butter frosting, like Italian buttercream. It can be varied, but all of the cream will be prepared by batter. So we actually know about the basic things. Okay, these are some examples of cake decorations that are mostly used. So if you go for first one, that is buttercream, you can see the figure there. That is a cake decorating with the buttercream. So how we can prepare that? It's very easier. You have to just combining some materials. It can be butter, shortening, margarine, lard, any kinds of shortening. And you can check there, they're all shortening. Nothing is like oil. Okay, that is the solid fat. With confectionery sugar, if you can remember, confectionery sugar means icing sugar. And with that flavor and chocolates, whenever you beat all the things together or whisk together for some times, then it will prepare a soft, smooth and fluffy cake, and your buttercream will be prepared. And you can store it in airtight container for up to 2 weeks. Then our second one, that is whipped cream. You can check the figure there. And in case of whipped cream, for preparing that cream, actually you will need fresh cream. Okay, if you can remember the buttercream, their ingredient was shortening with icing sugar with some flavors or anything that you want to add. But in case of whipped cream, you will need the fresh cream and sugar. And whenever you just mix together, this cream will be prepared. And it is more easy to prepare than the buttercream, as you've used their already prepared cream. And as cream are mainly used there, and it is very fresh ingredients, and its shelf life is not so much longer. Okay, you have to consume it within 1 day. Okay, but if you're freezing it, then it will be go longer. Then our third one is ganache. Okay, it's a cake that is decorated with ganache. And in case of ganache, actually, mainly chocolate and cream are used. Okay, whenever cream with chocolate used to prepare that kinds of frosting or that kinds of decoration, we say that it is a ganache decorated cake. And you can store it up to 6 months or around 2 weeks in the refrigerator and around 4 days at room temperature. And it then is called the glaze. And in case of that, you can check that there is a glazy things the shiny materials. Okay, that means you have to add something shiny here, then this glaze will come. Okay, and how we can prepare that? With sugar with a paddle attachment, slowly add in corn syrup, water and vanilla extract, and whisk until it's smooth and glossy. Okay, that means with sugar, corn syrup, water and vanilla extract. Whenever you add all the materials until glossy or smooth, then that glazy materials, or you can say glazy frosting, will prepare. Then you can prepare it. And without that, actually for glaziness, there were some glazy gelatin materials also available in the market. If we use that instead of only sugar, then this color will be changed and more glaze can become in your cakes. And you can store that around 10 to 15 days in a refrigerator. Then our fondant. So what is that actually? Fondant actually mix with sugar and water until sugar is well dissolved. That means you have to combine the sugar in water and dissolve it. After that, corn syrup add there, and you have to boil the mixture. After that, it removed from the heat, and this mixture you have to pour in a marble slab, or you can also say that you can also do it in a chopper that is prepared with marble, or it can be a tiles material, and allowed to cool and scrape it off. Whenever it will be cool, you will just scrape it, and after that you have to pour this in an electric mixture with a dough hook attachment. That means it not the that this attachment is not like the beater. Okay, it will be the hook attachment with the beater that is more mainly used for preparing the dough. And after that, uh, just mixing with electric mixture, it will be more thick and creamy, and then you can prepare with knead well and adding the desired flavor. Whenever it's creamy, you will then kneading well, and after that you have to roll it. Okay, it will be like a roller, or it will be like a dough, like a spreading materials. Then you can use it's like a sheet upon the cake. Okay, and it can be stored up to 2 months in an airtight container or in refrigerator. Then our another decoration is called the gum paste. It's how we can prepare it. Actually, the gum paste is that is called the gum paste, not the below one. It is a you can say it is a buttercream frosting. Whenever you add there these flower shapes, it's called the gum paste. And to make this icing, you will need in powder sugar, meringue powder with that tylose or CMC, shortening, glucose, glycerin, flavored gelatin with water. So if you say what is meringue powder, it is actually like that. The egg white is dried and it can be found in the market like powder. It's called the meringue powder. Then tylose seems is a binding agent or thickener agent. It is added there, and then glycerin, gelatin with water. And whenever you add all the things together, it will prepare a white gum paste. Okay, and if you want to choose any color, then you can add it. And you can store it up to 2 months in an airtight container. Then our last one, that is our candy clay. Actually, candy clay is another kinds of fondant-like materials. But difference is that for preparing that candy clay, you can use any kinds of candy by melting the candy with the corn syrup. Okay, by melting candy and added their corn syrup, you can make these kinds of creatures or this kind of fondant or this kind of dough-like shapes. And it is more tastier than fondant, and with that, it is actually more softer than fondant. And its storage, you can store it for several weeks. So that was our different kinds of cake decoration with our industrial manufacturing of cakes. For more learning of yours, I have added there 3 links. Please go to the links. It will be better for you, and you can get the images for different kinds of videos. I will also add it in your DLC section. So check that. And that was for today. Thank you.